In today's video, we're going to cover the entire life of a slot machine, exactly what that means, and we're even going to reveal some really cool inside casino knowledge. We're going to be answering those big questions like how long is the life of a slot machine, how payback percentage is determined and how that plays a role, what exactly leads to a slot machine being removed from the floor, and what happens to a progressive if it gets removed from the floor before it hits. Welcome back, everybody, to the Cowboy Slot Channel, where I bring you experienced advice from years of working in the casinos, tips, reviews, and so much more. Please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell to stay notified for when the next video comes out. Now, this is a pretty common topic that gets brought up a lot. People often wonder what exactly is the life of a slot machine, and what all does that entail? We're going to be covering a lot in today's video, but the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to break it down step by step on what exactly it looks like when a casino decides to order a slot machine and what the casino is and is not allowed to do. This is a process that not a lot of people outside of the gaming industry ever get to see or really understand. So I hope that this helps to educate you, the player, on just exactly how deep this process goes. There's a lot to go over in this video, so let's just dive right into it with the very beginning. First step, the casino decides that they want to order a game. What does that process look like? Obviously, deciding to get a new game onto the floor is going to be the first step, but it is not the casino's decision alone to make. When a casino decides that they want to buy a new game, or whether they are approached by a manufacturer saying, hey, bring our game in and give it a shot, the casino must first get approval from gaming, and gaming has to be the one to sign off on the order first. The manufacturer or retailer will not be able to process the order until they get the orders directly from gaming, which obviously gaming is the third-party regulatory agency over the casino. So already right out of the gate, even with step one, even the deciding to order the game, there's already a system of checks and balances that is already starting action. But it gets even deeper in step two. Step two, gaming approves the order. So step one, that's done. The casino has decided that yes, we want this new game on our floor, and gaming has said okay to it. And by the way, just to get up to this point, it can take several months in order to get an approval back from gaming. So it is usually nothing that is very quick. Once the order is approved, gaming, not the casino, but the actual gaming regulators, they are going to be the ones that are going to send the requirements, the jurisdiction requirements, to the manufacturer or to the retailer on what that machine has to be programmed to. Essentially, what available odds are going to be able to be placed onto this device. This right here is a major critical part that most people get wrong when talking about slot machine odds. For each odds setting on a machine, it has to have a curated pay table that goes along with that RTP setting, meaning it cannot be a free-for-all. It does not have a free range, and the casino cannot just pick any random number. There has to be designated individual settings that goes along with a corresponding pay table. A slot machine typically can hold up to 10, but most jurisdictions do not even have 10 different settings. Some jurisdictions have 3, other jurisdictions only have 1 setting. Outside of those preset options, there is nothing else to choose from. The casino is not going to be able to adjust it beyond what the settings are that machine comes with from the factory. And again, gaming is going to be the one that tells the manufacturer what options to put on that particular device. The orders cannot be completed until that system of checks and balances has taken place. So now step number 3, the game gets delivered to the casino. When a new game first arrives at the casino, guess who's going to be there? That's right, an agent from the gaming authority. As soon as the machine gets powered on, the gaming agent is going to check and verify that all of those settings and all of the criteria that was ordered on the device are correct. Once the agent has verified that all of those settings and all of those parameters are correct, then they will be the ones themselves to seal that machine. Once that game is sealed and verified, then the gaming authority, not the casino, is going to be the ones that seal it and then hold the access to be able to change anything further. This means that any setting that has to do with the game itself, such as the RTP, the casino is unable to change it themselves. They must go to the gaming authority to get permission and to get access to be able to even change those settings. And yes, this is the exact same procedure as any property out there, even properties that use central-based servers. Just the efforts to go through changing anything on the machine once it gets on the floor can be a brutal effort and can take a very long time. It is a lot of red tape to have to go to gaming and ask for permission, wait for their approval, and then finally be able to institute the change. The casino is focused on the long-term picture, the longevity and the life of the machine. So what exactly is the life of a slot machine? Many people have this question. Well, in terms of life of machine, it is not a solid set number or number of months or number of years or number of spins or anything like that. The life of the machine is how long the machine itself, the game itself, is active. This right here could be decades. There are machines in Las Vegas that have been in operation since the 90s, and they are still running today. So the life of the machine has nothing to do with numbers of spins or numbers of years. So the casino wanted the game, gaming approved it, game got delivered. So now step number 4, what happens for the duration of that game while it's on the floor? How does it play out? The biggest thing that players get wrong is payback percentage. The payback percentage, or RTP, on that slot machine is going to be the aggregate average for every single player that will ever play that game for the life of the machine. This is calculated using what is called the law of large numbers and general mathematics. Yes, each spin is random, but by looking at the virtual pay table and the options that the RNG has to choose from, we can determine that over the average of 10 million spins, it will come out to what is called the payback percentage. This is just basic math using the law of averages and the law of large numbers. The casino already knows that the machine is going to have its good times and bad times. This is an aspect that the casino has no control over. This is the random aspect. But they know that in the end, after millions of players and millions of spins, the casino is going to make a profit from it. So for easy example, if the machine is set at 95%, the casino knows that at the end of millions and millions of spins, they're going to get an average of 5% of the aggregate of everybody that has ever played that machine. Because payback percentage does take millions of spins to actually come within a 90% confidence rating of that number, it would be completely useless to change it for things like times of day, days of the week, holidays, or special events. Even if the casino were to change the payback percentage for these particular things, not only would you, the player, not notice a difference, but the casino themselves would not notice a difference because it can take so long, millions of spins, months, or years, in order for that payback percentage to even come close to that 90% confidence rating. Again, it has nothing to do with the individual player or individual session. So again, just to recap this part, 2 major important things to realize. Number 1 would be adjusting payback percentage for things like time of day, events, day of the week, holidays, anything like that, is not only a very lengthy and very difficult process, but the casino cannot do it by themselves. Gaming is the only one that has the access to be able to change that. And even if they did do it, there is not sufficient time for that payback percentage to even show a difference. So it's a lot of effort for a lot of nothing, and they don't need to do it because the machine is going to naturally make them money over time. The second big important thing to realize is that the RTP, the payback percentage, it's not about you and your session. This is, once again, it's the aggregate average of every single player that's ever going to play that machine. This is a huge misconception among gamblers because a lot of gamblers out there seem to think that, well, if the machine is set at 98%, then for every $100 I put in, I should get $98 back. That's not how it works. The game portion of the machine cannot even distinguish between players to even make this a possibility. Some people will win, some people will lose, but over the course of time, the machine will make the casino money and it will come out to that RTP percent. What happens when a casino wants to get rid of a slot machine, and why do they get rid of slot machines? This part gets very interesting, and it's one thing that a lot of players are always curious about and always seem to ask about. Machines get removed for all different types of reasons, but the 2 big important reasons are marketing and performance. And no, not performance as in this machine is paying too much, so we have to take it out. Most slots on the floor today are leased, or what is called in the business a participation game. A participation game essentially means that the casino is borrowing the machine itself from the manufacturer. And they're either giving the game maker a portion of profits from that machine, or they are making a monthly lease payment. Picture it kind of like renting an apartment. You don't own it, you're just paying to use it temporarily. With participation games, it is very common for manufacturers to swap out titles, or they make it easier for casinos to swap out titles. This is often done to showcase a game that is newer, or to showcase a game that the manufacturer or the sales rep of the area feels that that particular game title might be good or bad for the demographic that it's in. So they can be removed and swapped out for that main reason. Also, games that have a licensed theme. These would be games based on movies, TV shows, actors and actresses, popular music, anything like that. Most game titles that are based around a movie or a TV show or a person, those have contracts associated with them. And those games often get removed as soon as that contract is complete. The next major reason why games get removed is performance or maintenance. Everybody always asks, why are the classic 3-reel slots going away? Well, the short answer is lack of parts. Parts for older games are simply just not being made anymore. Also, in some jurisdictions, if the casino owns those older slot machines, they can actually get trade-in credits or earn money from selling those machines off to apply it to newer games. Picture this like buying a car. You have an older vehicle with a lot of miles on it and a lot of maintenance problems, and you've got the opportunity to trade up for something nicer. You're going to trade up. Now, we talked a little bit about performance too. Why would a game be removed for performance? Is it because the machine is paying out too much? It is not because the machine is paying out too much. In terms of performance, machines are oftentimes gotten rid of when players lose interest in the game. The casino makes money when the reels are spinning and the butts are in the chairs. No butts in the chairs and nobody pushing that spin button, that machine's gotta go. Casinos will too oftentimes move the floor around because of performance-based reasons. So say for example, if a machine is not performing well and the casino is thinking of getting rid of it, they might move it to a more prominent area of the casino, or they might move it closer to an entrance or something like that. Not because the setting is different, but they want to see and gauge the interest of, are people really interested in this game? If it's more visible, it's more likely that people are going to play it and they can get a more accurate understanding of if the game is liked or not. But if that fails, or the manufacturer offers them some kind of a really sweet credit to turn in those old devices, those devices are going to go. So now what happens if a progressive is involved? This is the really interesting part that the public doesn't know. What happens when a machine has a really big, juicy progressive and the casino wants to get rid of it? Well, for starters, first and foremost, this is a jurisdiction-based decision. Each jurisdiction is going to have their own rules on if the casino can even consider the machine for removal or not. So in this section, we're going to talk about those jurisdictions where the casino does have the ability to remove progressive-based machines. What happens to that progressive? The funds and the money that players are putting towards the progressive and adding to that progressive meter are the funds of the players in general. In jurisdictions that allow the casino to get rid of the machine, they have two options. The first option that the casino has is to move the progressive to a different machine. They have to carry over all of the amount that was built up in that old progressive to a new progressive. Or if it is a bank of machines that they want to get rid of, they have the option to consolidate it. The second option, if the casino is wanting to get rid of the machines entirely, or they don't want to move the progressive, they just want to get rid of the progressive altogether. If the casino chooses to take this option, then all of those funds that were contributed towards that progressive, and we're not talking about coin in, we're just talking about the metered amount that went towards that progressive. All of those funds are property of the players combined. So what does the casino do with those funds? The casino has to, in some way, shape, or form, give back all of those funds to the players. So how exactly do they do that? This is where things like your free play, big giveaways, stuff like that actually comes from. The casino has the option to put that money towards something like that. For example, let's just say a casino has a $10,000 progressive. They've decided to axe it. They want to get rid of it. Well, now they have $10,000 that they have to give back to the players in some way, shape, or form. You know what they're going to do? They're going to give you some free t-shirts. That's where the money comes from. Yes, it did go back to the players, just not in the form of money. It went back to the players in the form of swag. The casino does have the option to do this. You can always tell if a casino has opted for this option because typically if they get rid of a bank of progressives, About 6 months or so down the line, you'll notice something. Either you'll get a flyer in the mail that says, hey, come in on Tuesday and you get a free toaster, or you get free pots, or you get a free t-shirt if you come in, something like that. Again, remember that every jurisdiction is different when getting rid of progressive-based machines. Some jurisdictions have different options. Some jurisdictions don't allow it at all. When a machine, progressive or not, finally leaves the floor, at that point, the machine gets wiped clean. It gets a full reset. Anything that belongs to the casino, such as player tracking, stuff like that, that gets removed, and the machine finally leaves the floor. Then that is what concludes the machine's life cycle, so to speak, until the machine gets reset up at its new location, which will in turn start a new life cycle for it. I hope that you were able to find this video educational and helpful. If you wouldn't mind, give this video a like, a subscribe would be nice, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Check out these other videos and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more slot tips. It's always free. Visit ropethejackpot.com for free guides and a whole lot more. Catch you on the next episode.